welcome back to WTF Sports. We're going to hop right into a head coach hire rating video, and let's just do it, man.
All right. And when you're looking at the teams, they got new head coaches. There are 7 of them this year, which I feel like is more than usual.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple teams that got rid of their head coach that was a surprise, like, for example, New England.
Yeah.
Did not expect Jordan Mayer to get fired after 1 year, but it happened.
Antonio
And
Pierce was
McCarthy-
one and done.
Well,
That kind of
Antonio
one and
Pierce
done.
was never good.
Yeah, it was.
Like, he had another job before, so it just had to happen. It didn't.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys, McCarthy being gone, which he'll be back probably next year. So don't. Like,
If you're a fan.
So just don't worry about that. Some other team's gonna have him in a year or two. So
Yeah. And I mean, most of the other ones are kind of expected. Eberflus was terrible. He got fired midseason. This one, I disagree with that. I don't think they should have fired him.
I didn't think that he was. And if you watched the Jets,
their
you would know
defense
that
got
significantly
so much
worse.
worse. So that was a bad fire.
Good for the Niners. They got him back as a DC. So
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Dennis Allen, Bears got him as a DC. I think that he's a great defensive coordinator, bad head coach. You know, one of those situations. There's a lot of those situations in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Doug Peterson flamed out. We all knew he was going to get fired after this season. It was just bad.
Yeah. So let's we'll jump into it, starting from oldest to the newest.
Yeah.
Oldest one being the Patriots. Oldest hire.
Mike Vrabel has been a head coach for his new team for the longest, and honestly, I think this is an A minus hire. I think that they went out and got their guy that they wanted, and they knew they wanted. He's a former Patriot, so definitely something that probably Robert Kraft over there and the Patriots organization is looking for. So hard-nosed head coach. He's going to get the job done. I thought he got the job done with the Titans. I was surprised to see him fired when it happened. But,
Yeah.
Hey,
He'll be cooking up now with Drake May. I'm like, from what I understand, Drake May is a very sought-after quarterback, or was, I guess. So, I mean, Mike Vrabel's a good coach, so he should cook.
We got Josh McDaniels back in the Patriots organization, which Josh McDaniels, great offensive coordinator.
He was there with Brady, right?
Yeah, he's an amazing offensive coordinator. I mean, if you really look at it, for example, Josh McDaniels had 1 year with Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Right? His rookie year. And Mac Jones was great. He was at least decent. And that was something that he wasn't the next couple of years. So he brought Mac Jones to the playoffs in his rookie year, which is incredible. And then he left to go coach for the Raiders, which flamed out because McDaniels has proven many times before that he's not a good head coach. But I think that it's a good offensive coordinator hire, and I think that they could be set up for a lot of success in the future as long as they find the right talent. So, which
I mean,
I think that Mike Vrabel has done before, and I mean, he's had coordinators make something out of Ryan Tannehill. So,
yeah, which is a feat in itself.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, good hire. Now moving on to our next team, that being the Chicago Bears. Mason, I'll let Mason fully get this one because this is his team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, and this is exactly the guy that every Chicago Bears fan should have wanted. I mean, you have a young rookie quarterback that had an up and down season, who struggled at times, showed flashes of greatness at times. You go out and get the best offensive coordinator on the market. That's just what you do. You have to, and Ben Johnson is that guy. Now, to see whether he's a good head coach or not is still remains to be seen, right? But
yeah,
Ben Johnson was the guy you needed to go get, and they went and got him, and that's a major change in the Bears organization because that's not something that they do. They don't go out and get the big name guy where they have to pay $13 million a year because Matt Eberflus, their head coach before, was making like $6 million a year.
Yeah,
so,
and it showed because he sucked.
Yeah.
And then, not to mention too, Dennis Allen. They hired a very good defensive coordinator.
Yeah, so we'll see. There's a lot of talent on this roster.
And
there's a lot that they can do. It's just a matter of can they coach them. So I think this is an A+ hire. They went through the process in a way that I thought was good. They interviewed a lot of people, probably more people than they had to, but they got Ben Johnson before anybody else could, and that's all that matters. So
yeah, because honestly,
hopefully he proves to be a good head coach.
Yeah, him being with Caleb Williams, I think is going to be a very good matchup. Because, like, you got to think, he was with Jared Goff, who's a mobile is definitely a nice way of putting it. Jared Goff, he didn't move the pocket. He just sat there.
I would argue that Caleb has a higher ceiling than Jared Goff does.
I agree.
Because of how much talent Caleb has.
Lower floor, too, because he's a rookie. But,
yeah.
Assuming, and also I've seen stuff saying like Caleb Williams is like working with like high end guys. Like he's not just like sitting there like, oh, I didn't play amazing. He's out there. He's putting in the work.
Well, you saw him in college. He was never never satisfied.
No, which is what you need. You need a good quarterback who thinks he's bad and doesn't settle for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think Ben Johnson's gonna hopefully as a partial Bears fan, as you can see by where's it at? My Montez sweat jersey over there. I love to see him do good. You know, I would love to see him do good. Now moving on to the Jets. I don't know why they rehired, but they went from a defensive coach to a defensive coach.
Which, I mean, like, I guess that's just the Jets for you.
Yeah.
But I think Aaron Glenn is a good hire. We gave him a B because there's a lot to be proven.
100%.
He had a very injured defense last year, but he was able to get them to play at least decently outside of the playoffs.
And with all the injuries too, is very impressive.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, but I would say that their defense has looked good for only this year. So I would say like last year it was okay. It wasn't like incredible, but I do think that Aaron Glenn is one of those guys that you can look at and be like, he's got a strong voice. He's gonna set the tone. So I can see why the Jets got him. That's why I gave him.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with him on this one. I do think though it could work. Hopefully their defense gets good again.
We'll see.
I mean, honestly, I don't really want to see the Jets succeed because I don't really like them. But
I don't really like the Jets either. I think that their jerseys are ugly.
Oh, their jerseys suck.
Their colors.
I don't mind seeing a former Lions coach succeed though, so I wouldn't mind that. Now moving on to my former coach, my king, Pete Carroll, Super Bowl winning head coach, best head coach of all time, arguably the greatest old man in the NFL, and quite frankly, I think he's going to be a winner for this team that is a historically, if I can understand it, historically losing team.
Yeah, I mean, besides the John Madden years and early John Gruden years, they're pretty bad outside of that. So
Jamarcus Russell.
I think that Pete Carroll is a good head coaching hire for the Raiders, but I told Brody it's like a C. It's got to be a C+.
Yeah,
because
I'm with him.
When you hire Pete Carroll, he's 70.
It's
like almost 75, I think. So you're getting like 3-4 years out of him, probably.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of like he's not proven. He is proven, but is he out of that now?
Yeah, which not only that, but like you have to think too, like this is a situation where I think he's more of a bridge head coach. Like here, we need somebody that can like command this room while we get a quarterback, while we get
and just
like while we trying to put the pieces in place, because the Raiders have Brock Bowers and Max Crosby, two of the best at their respective positions. I mean, I would say Max Crosby is one of the best at his respective positions.
Yeah, I said two of the best, not the two best. I mean, I think Bowers is the best tight end in the league. Yeah, I don't think that's crazy to say.
Yeah, I would say it's a C+ because you're not going to get a long-term solution out of Pete Carroll.
No, but he'll be a good, if they could draft a rookie quarterback, starting them with Pete Carroll is way better than starting them with some random, either new head coach or like guy who's kind of newer.
It depends. It depends on who they could have gotten, but
Yeah.
I would say Pete Carroll's a bit higher here.
I mean, he molded Russell Wilson, Matt Hasselbeck, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a head coach, but Pete Carroll's a defensive guy, so
Yeah. Hey,
he's
but
not,
but his mentality is crazy. That's his thing.
yeah,
And I'm all for it. He's old and he's moving. You don't see that very much. But gotta love the man. Now moving on to the other team, Cowboys, a team that honestly I think people don't like just as much as the Chiefs. Honestly,
This
from time
has
to
gotta
time.
be the worst head coaching hire since Matt Eberflus. That's what I think. I don't understand what they were thinking here.
Yeah, it was
You
a choice.
could argue that they it's impressive actually that they went with Brian Schottenheimer, because Brian Schottenheimer has had no legitimate head coaching interviews outside of the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's
He
kind of sad.
has not been a play caller in I don't know how many years. And it's embarrassing, honestly, how this took place. And not only that, but you had Mike McCarthy, who brought you to 3 straight 12-5 seasons. And I would argue, yeah, like, okay, you guys couldn't make it past in the playoffs, but Mike McCarthy is a lot better than Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah, at least just bank on him until there's a really good coach you can get.
Which there were good coaches that you could get.
Yeah.
I think that if they went and hired Joe Brady from the Bills, I think that would have been amazing for them.
I think anyone other than this guy.
Schottenheimer,
And I saw a thing. I'm gonna pull this up actually because I think I sent it to Mason on Instagram here, of their coaching staff. Yeah, so they have him, their head coach, and their offensive coordinator is Arizona's O-line coach last season. Their defensive coordinator is Matt Eberflus. Their special teams coordinator is special teams coordinator is the 49ers defensive coordinator last season. Who, how that went. It's a weird crew.
Yeah, it's definitely something. It's definitely different. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting at least.
I wait to see Matt Eberflus on the sideline of the Cowboys.
Yep, right where he belongs.
Something else.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that we've done enough crapping on Brian Schottenheimer. It's time for the next team,
which is Mr. Duval, the goofball himself. I mean,
William Cohen. I mean, he was the offensive coordinator for the Bucks, so he pulled. Brody pulled a picture of him on the Rams, but
yeah, that was just the first picture I saw that looked decent.
He was the offensive coordinator of the Bucks. The Bucks obviously had a lot of offensive success. He revived Baker Mayfield.
Oh yeah, he's a good coach. He's a great coach.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he can do the same for Trevor Lawrence.
Incredible seasons under Liam Cohen, and yeah, we'll see if he can get Trevor Lawrence coming. But we got to see if he can even command a room, because
he seems like too like a nice of a guy. He's like a pushover. Yeah. It seems like.
We will see. I do think this is a good hire. Now, in the long run, we'll see how that goes. But I think that for their offensive woes, they needed a guy that could get it going. And I think Liam Cohen's the guy. So
I agree. I concur. Now, the final team, I believe, final team.
Yep.
Yeah, final team is a team that fired their coach mid-season, I think. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
They did?
Yes.
They did.
They did.
Their quarterback room was in shambles, to say the least.
They are in cap hell,
yeah,
by the way.
And quarterback hell.
Yeah.
It's nothing's good with them. And that is the New Orleans Saints. They don't got much going for them, really, at all. Their running backs are old. Their defense is okay. Their wide receivers are actually pretty decent. Taysom Hill is solid, but he's getting old. Derek Carr is not going to cut it for that much longer, I don't think. But you know what? They got Kellen Moore. This guy just won a Super Bowl, and embarrassed the Chiefs. So you know what? I think it's a decent hire.
I think it's a decent hire, and we gave it a B, but I think that the Saints waited a long time for this guy, so obviously they feel very confident about their hire and who they got.
Yeah.
the last team with a head coaching vacancy to hire a head coach because the guy they wanted was in the Super Bowl. They knew what they wanted. We'll give them that. But I do think that if I were to choose, I would have went with Mike McCarthy because Mike McCarthy is proven. But
Yeah, as a head coach.
they wanted to go with somebody younger, somebody that had a chance to be a home run. And you know what? I'm not gonna criticize them for it because it's worked for a lot of teams. It's worked for a lot of teams. So Kellen Moore is a great offensive coordinator. He's had a lot of success around the league, and I hope that he has success over there in New Orleans, but not enough success to beat the Bears.
Yeah. Do they play him this season?
I don't think so, but still.
All right. Well, you know what? That's a decent hire. And you know what a better hire would be? You guys joining our fan base as
Exactly.
a resident subscriber. So you should hit
All you
that
gotta
button.
do to sign the contract is hit the subscribe button.
I think
So,
it's red or gray or something, but it's like right.
whatever.
It should be under the video somewhere. So like, it's a good contract, very low to no pay, but
Exactly.
yeah, good content on a few times a week basis. So it's pretty good in my opinion,
Yeah, I agree.
and it's free.
Exactly. It's free. So just do it. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh,
Do it
yeah. All of
that
it.
we put up there. And we hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, yeah, do all the things I just said. So, yeah, I just hope that we'll see you in the next one. I
Yep.
hope we caught your attention, and definitely more grading in the future based on
Off-season
draft,
stuff, yeah.
grade, yeah, like everything. So we'll see how that goes, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Yep. Later.